Hey, welcome back. We have not one, but two pens here. Very excited to get these on the channel today. So let's get into it. Boom, boom. This is just in from our friends at Polish Custom Knives. They use DHL, which is expensive shipping from Poland, but as long as you get two at a time, you feel a little better about it. And it does get here really fast, like same week, which kind of blows my mind because I've bought knives from like New York that don't get here same week. So that's pretty nice that you get them in hand so quickly. You know I love my unboxings, so Herman Knives, doing really cool pens, distribution through Polish Custom Knives, just like their knives. And it's a CNC shop out of somewhere in Poland. I don't know a ton about the brand, to be honest, but they've been making these Epika pens that are aptly named, I'd say. They're pretty epic. And this one here comes with a COA on these, is number 62. So let's dig into this. It uses what they call the Herman ceramic rotary locking system. Quite a mouthful. And this one is like a color fade ano and pretty sweet. Very smooth. The other ones that I got were a, put one out here, like an eggshell finish. This one has that on the pocket clip, but the body is a really nice kind of satin finish, super smooth to the touch, but not slippery. Smooth, but not slippery. Maybe not for everyone, but yeah, pretty darn nice. Color fade ano. Now, this one here, what we'll call the plain one, would go for $217 plus shipping, which again is not inexpensive. But if you combine, you feel a little better about it. This color fade ano one here is a bit more expensive. It was $239, so an extra $22 US for the fancier version. So let's get this over here, and we'll get the other one out because the other one is even more under the name Epika, I would say. It's the one that got me actually really looking at these pens, and then when I was able to actually catch it on the drop, I was a little surprised, pleasantly surprised. And let's get into it. One of the things we are going to look at today, by the way, is the last two I got. One had tip wiggle, this one, and the other one didn't. So we're going to find out if these have tip wiggle today or not, if that's some sort of inconsistency in their clearance and tolerance on the nose of the pen. But a big part of why I've been buying these is just the finishing is pretty spectacular, like especially for a first 100 of their pens. Ooh, COA is loose on number 51 here. And yeah, this one is going to be pretty awesome. Let's take a look at number 51. But yeah, who in their first 50 pens did something like this? Look at that hammered finish. I'm wondering, it's a CNC shop. Is it CNC? And look at that titanium Damascus on the top there. I don't know if that's zircotai. That might be a little look here on the COA and see if it says. Body, titanium, clip, titanium, top, Damascus. Okay, cool. That is really sweet. And this one was even more expensive. This one was, last one was $239, so $217, $239. We're working our way up here. This one's the most expensive one I've gotten so far. I don't know if they've charged more for some of them. This one was $349, so on a different level. That's up there with one of the most expensive pens that I've purchased. Ooh, but it is really nice. So yeah, let's get a little zoom in on that hammered grip. So you've got one anodized color here coming into another anodized color here, coming into a full satin tip. You've got a really sweet, like polished, like it looks like a full mirror polish. I'm just trying to get my fingerprints off of it here. Anodized clip. Oh, I didn't even notice that from the original pictures. It has that same, so I wonder if that is some sort of CNC finish that they have, because I don't think someone's going in and doing hand custom hammered in those little nooks. I could be wrong, but I think it must be some sort of CNC finish. It's numbered number 51. Then you got the Timascus here, and then a polished top there. So that is definitely on a different finish level and grade from the other one. This one's cool. This eggshell is nice. Don't get me wrong. But this is that's pretty spectacular there. That's cool. I'm happy to have that one in the collection. Let's get on that tip wiggle and see what we find. The action so far has been really consistent on all of them, so I'm pleased about that. I haven't seen any inconsistency in the action. Okay, this one does have a little bit of tip wiggle. How about this one? No tip wiggle. So I've got two, this one, and let me get out the other one here. This one, these two have no tip wiggle. These two have a little bit of tip wiggle. Let's just do one more test. That one's bad tip wiggle. That one's a little less tip wiggle. That one is 0 tip wiggle. And that one is 0 tip wiggle. Now what's interesting is it's totally unrelated to the numbers. So you've got tip wiggle on number 70, the most recent one from the group. Tip wiggle on number 51. No tip wiggle on number 62. And no tip wiggle on number 38. Now they didn't sell them all at the same time. I bought these two and these two at the same time. One without tip wiggle, one without tip wiggle, one with. So there's just, I see no rhyme or reason on what's causing them to have tip wiggle or not. So it's something I'd like to look into and see if I can talk to them about, because that's just a little mind-boggling. It'd be one thing if like, oh, those early ones, first production had some tip wiggle and then they figured it out, or even if it went the other ways because they changed something for some reason. Now it could also be the refills in there. I guess there could be different refills, but I'm pretty sure all of them have the same refill in there. So this is just a total mystery to me. That said, the pens themselves, they're pretty spectacular, as you can see. I mean, you be the judge. Of course, these are definitely a bit polarizing in some of the designs. Maybe these particular ones aren't even the ones you would like. I'd say this is probably, if I were to guess what people would like, from least to most, it's probably something like that. If I were to guess, it maybe even like that, because that's a little bit of a rose gold, although on camera it looks a bit more bronze. But if I had to guess, most people are going to resonate here, working their way back from here. I mean, that's just it's not for everyone, but it's also pretty sweet. That's pretty impressive. So yeah, another nice couple pens from Herman, totally different. These two being totally different than those first two. These are very monochromatic. These two are more lively. Interesting that each of them eggshell finish, more of like a eggshell on here, and then polished on the button, eggshell on the button, eggshell on here, eggshell on here. Satin or polished, eggshell, eggshell, eggshell. Satin or polished, hammered, satin or polished, polished, hammered, polished, polished. So it's these details that I love about manufacturers, when they make these little details from, for instance, from here to here. Like, you have the choice whether this is the same finish or a different finish between the tip, the top, and the actual button itself. And those little details always stand out to me as like cool little nuances on creativity by the manufacturers. Now, one of the big things that the jury's still out on is, will these things hold up? Because this mechanism does not look like something you want to service yourself. That said, it looks very sealed. And unlike, like maybe a bolt pen where there's kind of a gap where stuff can get in, these feel like they would probably last a very long time. Like there's not a lot of room there for stuff to get into. And then you've just got one barrel the whole way through from here to there. So, food for thought. Maybe with this design, that less serviceable perhaps mechanism, as long as it's reliable, it's not that big a deal. It's just, maybe something that would last your whole life and you'd never have to service it, and that's fine. If it works that way, that's amazing. If you have to service it, that thing looks super complex, and they're loose ball bearings, they're like press fit ball bearings or something. That looks crazy. So the mechanism itself is definitely another beast from what I think we've been used to in the industry. All that said, I mean, the pens make you want to buy them, or make me want to buy them at least. If you enjoyed the content, please feel free to like, subscribe. I think we got more to think about. This is a different mechanism, a different kind of pen. More to come on these. And I will see you on the next one. Take care.